host. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today, we're painting.
That's right, folks. Tonight we are dry brushing the Kraken. The little guy is going to be working on the Kraken, while I'll be working on the tentacles over here. But before we get started, I want to say hi and welcome to our newest subscriber, Nayab Yummy Tummy, and
Oh yeah, what was it? Have an enjoyable belated date of birth, Alejandro.
that's right, we forgot
The
to.
light sky. From
Yeah.
our,
He's a good friend of the family and has helped us out on lights, and he just had a birthday a while ago and we forgot to bring it up. So happy birthday, big guy. And Nayab, thanks for your wonderful, kind comments, and we hope to see you guys in the chat room ASAP. So let's get started with painting. He's going to be using the neon green that's way over there. Give it to me and I'll shake it up for you. He's going to be dry brushing the Kraken with the neon green, and I will be doing the exact opposite and dry brushing with the Vallejo glossy black. I already did it.
Actually, I'm going to be using white as well.
Oh, you're going to use the white also? Okay. I got you a Pringles palette because there's no reason to use a wet palette when you're dry brushing.
Okay. Yeah,
We want the paint to be dry. So while I shake this up, I'm going to be using Vallejo.
And you said you need to water it down?
Oh no, that was for this process. I watered it down to get it to run.
Should I water it down?
No.
Why?
Because you're dry brushing.
With that?
Yeah.
I'm not dry brushing with it. Sometimes I'm dry brushing.
When you dry brush, you don't water it down.
Actually not really. I don't think I will. I'm going to dry brush, but I'm also not going to dry brush.
Okay.
So this part, the eyes.
The eyes are going to be green?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As well as these things.
For the tentacles, if you're confused, I watered down this neon green, really watery, and painted each tentacle with 3 coats of really light neon green so that it would go into the nooks and crannies and get a nice even coat instead of, as you know, sometimes the craft paints can be kind of clumpy or too thick or sometimes even stringy, which I absolutely hate because that means the paint is
not good.
Yeah, you can actually resaturate stringy paint, but it's just not worth it at 50 to 75 cents a bottle of paint. Unless the whole bottle has gone bad, which I've yet to see. Just sometimes what happens is the paint at the very bottom of the bottle, I think, or somewhere at the top, just somehow dries inside the bottle and then gets shaken loose, and you'll squirt out some of this paint. That should be good enough. And it will squirt out in a sort of a stringy fashion. And pop it open like that. We are once again going to be using the Army Painter Masterclass dry brushes for these processes here tonight. I'll be using these.
What do I use to mix the water in? This? Not this.
Yeah, any brush is fine. Just make sure it's already kind of a dry brush.
Does this work?
Yeah, that's actually a good one, a good choice because it's a crummy, cheap, literally like a 10-cent paintbrush, if that.
How many drip drops did I put in?
For the watered down version, for that much paint, I would go 3 or 4.
Well,
Okay, if you've gone 5, that's still fine. Still just stir it up. He's going to be using the medium. I can't read what that says. It's just medium masterclass in the really small print.
It says Masterclass Moderate Dry Brush.
Okay, and
No medium.
I'll be using the miniature brush. That's what I used earlier on.
Should I use this at all?
You might as well. I mean, it's still a good. I mean, it's still a paintbrush. He's actually doing some last minute base coats on. He's got the Kraken's got these weird sort of.
Possibly deals, but they don't look like that.
Yeah, some sort of chest indentations.
Spirals.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck they are, but sort of reverse pecs, if you will. They're just weird. But yeah, I think those have to be some sort of gills.
something weird. Should I put them here?
If you want.
Well, I mean, that's what. Should I use this brush?
Yeah. You know, just because it's a cheap, you know, brush doesn't mean you can't use it for stuff. You know, besides just mixing. I mean, it's one of those. Maybe it was a paint by numbers or some sort of, you know, really. I mean, the absolute bottom of the barrel. You can get better brushes at the dollar store. You know, even in 8 and 10 packs, they're better than these. These are 100% like pure plastic. Even the bristles are plastic.
What do I do about that? Is that just gonna?
You just fix it later.
Okay. I mean, it was actually kind of hard, but that's what my not very good at. I should use a better brush than that.
Yeah, the eyes look actually really good. Green, I mean, you may need to touch up around the eyelids and stuff, but I thought, I was thinking about it today, I was thinking maybe red or, you know, don't want to use purple because we already had that discussion, how we've overused green and purple, but...
Yeah, I used to think that it was just something a lot of people overuse, but I haven't seen it that much outside of our own work.
Yeah, it's probably my fault. Growing up, you know, reading Marvel comics, you know, I can think of, you know, literally half a dozen characters that were green and purple, you know, the Hulk, the Green Goblin, Mysterio, I could go on. There's just, you know, so many characters that I grew up with that were or their uniforms or costumes were green and purple, and...
Do I wash it off or just leave it here?
You go ahead and put it, drop it in the thing. That's a brush that, you know, that brush is probably 20 years old and it still looks identical to when I first bought it.
Which is still not a good thing.
Yeah. It's a you know, it's
probably never was.
It's a kiddie brush, you know. I don't mean to be disparaging against kids, but it's one of those brushes you give a 3 or 4 year old to start them off painting, you know, something, you know, paint by numbers or, you know, watercolors or something. It might have even come in a watercolor set. It's just, yeah, I don't even think you ever used it.
I don't think I did, probably because I only painted once.
Yeah. You know, I saw someone did a video recently on those exact 4 miniatures. You know, I want to watch it.
I might have actually painted more this week than I ever painted in my whole life before.
Combined?
Before 2019. Yeah, combined.
I wouldn't be surprised. See, this little guy, wait till you see what he did this week. I'm tempted to show you, but you're going to have to stay tuned.
But they may or may not be right here.
You're going to have to stay tuned for the Sunday show-off show, which will be actually next month because of the way the Sunday work out the end of the month. We don't want to cut you guys a short month and stick the Sunday show-off show at the end of this month, so we're going to make it the beginning of August. Yeah, every alternating, you'll get a show-off show of ours in the following month, and that just allows us to either do like 1 extra craft. We thought we were only going to be able to do 4, but we might actually be able to do, we thought we were only going to be able to do 3. We might actually be able to do 4 crafts this month and an extra Tuesday.
One of them is going to be something that we've had an issue with for a long time.
Yeah.
But more specific, but especially now with a specific monster/miniature.
Yeah. We've alluded to it, and
it is also still related to ocean.
Oh, I was going to say, I was going to see if they could guess what miniature we're talking about.
Well, yeah,
because there's another miniature. There's another miniature that we could have been talking about, but since you said ocean, the Umber Hulk made by Wizkids does not, in my opinion, look like an Umber Hulk.
I still like it. I like it better.
Yeah, he likes it better. I like the old comical, you know, Otto's Irresistible Dance version. Those old school players will know what I'm talking about. There's a picture of the Umber Hulk being forced to dance in the player's handbook. That's just the classic Umber Hulk. The Monster Manual version, the original Monster Manual version, is also pretty good. It's just one of those monsters like the Beholder that is completely pure old school Dungeons and Dragons TSR creation, and it deserves to stay that way. Changing it the way they did change it, that's WizKids, I should say. I'm not even sure if Reaper did one. They might have done like something but renamed it so it's not technically an Umber Hulk. But the Umber Hulk has a special place in my heart. When we
Do I
were,
just put this in here?
are you done with it?
Yes.
Yeah, then go ahead. Can you get your new brush? If you're going to be dry brushing?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, now that I think about it,
You want the smaller one?
I want the bigger one because we're gonna use the medium one on these.
Oh, okay. Let's put that one off to the side or back in the package.
Oh.
We keep these special brushes in the package just so that we don't accidentally use them as something else, and that we take better care of them.
Do I still do this?
Scrape it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would. When you're using a bigger brush like that, we found that
you
our,
want to take care of it.
yeah, even though we taught you guys our scraping method, we found that it doesn't really work so good when you try to scrape the paint
Well,
off.
I've been kind of saying that for a while, but
Yeah, we found that the scraping method for dry brushing doesn't work so good on the smaller brushes because it literally works too good. It takes off everything and you get nothing to dry brush with, and that's defeats the purpose of dry brushing. You really want to. Yikes! I got a little bit too much paint there, and I can't spread it. But okay, I'll go on
Is
to
it
the
looking
next
good?
one. You see what I'm talking about, though? You can barely see it in this light.
I can see it very well.
Well, maybe they can.
I think those.
Once again, we're using a lot of neon.
But that might be because it's.
Still wet.
Yeah, I notice things tend to not be seen and not
Yeah,
be
when-
able to
yeah,
be seen.
Paints, a lot of paints, most paints, have a completely different look when they've dried. And with this month, with using the neon paints like we are, we're actually going to try some new things with the neons. Maybe some of you are tired of the sort of gimmicky nature of neon paints and the black light. That'll never happen with us on this channel. We will always be big fans of any special lighting effects that we can come up with, and neon paints are the easiest to learn how to work with and get a hold of. There's an unlimited supply of neon paints. We are looking forward to trying out other brands besides the craft paints, but the craft paints work so well and at such a cheap price. I'm really surprised that other people don't do it more often. There's just so many neat things you can do with a little bit of neon, to make the monsters, maybe not the characters so much, but the monsters really stand out and look weird and different and unearthly and things like that. It's just fun to be able to throw other art forms into just good old-fashioned miniature painting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely a lot you can do with it. But
Well, I've seen some painters that really frown upon it and look down on it and like. Okay.
And by some painters, you mean. Well, yeah, a lot of painters actually, but.
Yeah. They.
You seem to really. You seem to have really held a grudge on them because of that.
Oh, no. I just, want to reiterate, our, appreciation for it. It's not just because I grew up with, black light posters back in the day being a big deal and things like that. There's just so much you can do to get a special effect, easy for especially beginner painters like you and I, even though I've been doing it a long time. I was telling the little guy, I took such a long break when he was young from painting. I used to paint a lot, and then when he was, born and in diapers and stuff, I took a break from it. And it's not like riding a bike. You don't retain every ounce of your previous skill. You've got to relearn things. And
honestly, I think that the first 4 things I ever did, the elementals, turned out better than Boba.
You think so?
Yeah. But that might be because I was worried to...
With the silver?
Yeah.
Try not to leave fingerprints on the silver. We used a spray.
Which is why, like, immediately after that, my very next thing turned out way better.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We might have to buy another bulb out from you guys, Archon. So save one for us. Maybe with our next order, we might just have to grab one.
Let's look at.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah, I can see what you mean. You can see the green a little, but it reminds me. Bring it over to the camera.
Oh.
It reminds me of the black and purple unknown alien monster I was talking about the other day. How from one angle you can see the green, but at the other angles you can't.
Might just be a lighting thing. Like, I can see it here, but
Yeah.
because the light's there, but here I can still it looks like a dark green.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's going to be neon at all. And then when we hit the neon lights, it should really be something kind of scary looking. I mean, it is a thing of nightmares.
But it actually, the one thing I don't like is that those tentacles look...
Too green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't look like they come from the same creature.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I might hit them up with believe it or not, a green wash.
We're gonna get this a green wash too. Just not yet. Oh, you're gonna put a green wash now?
No.
Oh,
I
that's
just
black.
I just need more black.
Okay, do you think these are dry?
The only one way to find out?
Okay.
I got a lot of paint on it that time. But at the same time, like I was talking about with these tentacles, I could see using them as a completely different monster without breaking out the Kraken, because they don't look like they belong to him, and if they do, I don't want to know where they're attached.
What do you mean?
Well,
just right below, huh?
somewhere below the waist, yeah, and I don't want to think about it because that's just creepy. These are his legs, or this is what he swims with. Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just watching that.
And I don't know if you noticed, but they actually have these little hooks on them
Yeah.
that I'm going to try to get to be bright and green like you usually do dragon pinions or whatever they're called, the little horn things on the end of their wings and what have you.
Yeah, they're technically just the nails or claws.
Right.
But most dragons have arms. But, probably just arms that turned into...
Tentacles?
No, arms.
Oh, they turn into wings.
Yeah. Like bats.
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly that. Bats and their weird fingers.
Unless they're pterodactyls, I think.
I think you're right.
Okay, did I wash these off?
Are you done dry brushing?
Yeah, I think I'm actually done.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Well, the only thing I need is stuff, like, if you see these green balls.
yeah, that's where you want to do the washes for next week.
Yeah. Like, if you see these green dots that I put on it,
Yeah.
in a bunch of different places. I found a few more.
Well, let me finish up this one tentacle and then we'll call it a night. Almost done here.
There's some there and some there, and there's one there. But when dry brushing, I found a few more. There's a few here.
So you want to go back over them later and make them green?
Yeah.
Or white first and then green?
Yeah. There's one here as well. No, there is.
We're going to have to start thinking about what dragon we're going to do next month.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because since we have a certain theme planned for next month, we have to think of what will go with that. I was actually thinking of Marduk, believe it or not. I know you don't want to hear that, but...
Why Marduk? Marduk's the 5-head?
Yeah.
No.
You hear that, Archon? He's scared of Marduk.
No, I want to save him for December.
Oh, really? I thought we were... Okay, we can do
What
that.
else are we going to do this summer? We don't have another ice yet.
That's
Did I wash these off in water?
No, I'll take care of that. I'm just about done here. And let's turn them around and I'll just put up a couple
But what?
of...
I'll leave that in.
Throw that stuff out of the way so the camera can get a nice creepy shot of him with his weird tentacles. So that's it for tonight, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and make sure you join us Tuesday for our next video, which is going to be part 2 of painting the falling star, and then we'll have another craft for you on Thursday. Hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for stopping by. We love you guys, and don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Right, Sport?
Yes, everything he just said, and good night.
Bye, everybody.